Hello, hi, my name is Terena, and I was going to talk about the words traumatized. They really mistake the word traumatized for paranoia. A lot of women, a lot of men out there go through a thing called traumatized, and they've been through a lot of things in their life that probably made them feel a certain way. For example, I don't speak over the phone to a lot of people or go over the internet and do a lot of business over the internet a lot because I've been through a lot. Um, and I hate talking about myself, but I have to put it out there as an example instead of using someone else. Um, I've been through a situation to where um, I've been through some stuff in my life. And I really don't like talking over the phone. I like to see the person face to face or directly so I can know who I'm dealing with. And it's a lot of people that play over the phone. They play over the phone. They say, oh, their names is this or that. And then they'll hang up. Or, they'll get over the internet and they'll play with other people's identities and photos and try to speak like the person and everything and try to copy their identity, mimic them. You have a lot of sick, mentally ill, sick people out there, and they'll drive you mentally ill too. They'll drag you along with their mindset, their negative mindsets, and that's probably why there's so many people traumatized because they have been dragged on through other negative people. Their mindsets became negative because of those other people's mindset. I used to have an ex-boyfriend that used to play over the phone, and he will always put his friends, on the phone with me, and they used to talk just like him. And then when I get to a certain place where me and my ex-boyfriend was, his friend will pop up and say, well, are you sure you was talking to him? You was probably talking to me. So those are situations that I've been through before. And that's why I said you have to respect your friend. If you got friends out there that is traumatized, family members that's traumatized, respect the trauma they've been through. Respect that and let them see the positive things, that everyone is not like that. What people out there are positive. That's how you get them out of that trance of telling them everything is okay. Let them see that they're positive people. Redirect them in a positive aspect. If you see them ongoing OCD, and they obsess over the same traumatic over and over again, it could be that someone is bothering them and reminding them of that same traumatic of the past that they used to go through. That's nothing to play with. There's a lot of people out there that dealt with traumas. And I'm that type of person myself that dealt with it. And back in 2003, I took a class, psychology, because I wanted to be a psychiatrist. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. And I had got into the medical field. I took psychology class. I didn't do so well at East West University with psychology. I got a D because I was handling other things with the man that I was with in 2003. So that threw me off my focus, and plus I was pregnant. It threw me off my focus of concentrating on my class because I was too busy concentrating on, I wasn't really ready for psychology. I wasn't really ready. I was like really young back then. I was like probably 20, 19 probably, because I went straight to college after I got out of high school. That was back in 2002 when I got out of high school and I graduated. I graduated from Austin Career. I didn't graduate from Marshall High School. This was in Chicago, Illinois, by the way. So I took psychology because I wanted to get into the mindset of analyzing why people was the way they were. Why did I have so many issues that I had in the past? And sometimes it don't be you. It's not the you. It's not the me. It's because those kids out there, those black kids out there had so many emotional breakdowns. Then you don't even know what they going through in their households. So sometimes it's not about you. It could be about what they're going through, and they bringing that stuff to school and messing with your mind with it, messing with your emotions, messing with your behaviors. So sometimes we become victim of other people's behaviors that rubs off on us. And that's what I mean by the words traumatize. You traumatize the victim because they were a victim of traumatize. Trauma. They were a victim of trauma. So it happens. It happens a lot to a lot of people. Like I said, I have to see who I'm talking to. I can't be on the phone like that. I don't like doing business over the internet too much because I have to see who I'm doing business with. I have to see this. So respect your friends, respect your families. Man said, do not judge them. Some of my friends that I had that I left behind in Chicago, a lot of them were very, and I had this one friend, I'm not going to say her name, but it is her birthday today. I had this one friend that and she was dark skinned, she was very mean. She never knew my traumas. And I believe she became a psychiatrist too. But if you're going to get into the field of being a psychiatrist, you cannot talk about your friends, your past friends, and say, well, ooh, my client reminded me of my past friend, or being a nitpicker. You have to have the right heart, the right mindset, the right type of judgment, to be the right type of spirit, the right type of personality to be a psychiatrist. You can't dose everybody up. I used to work in the behavioral health field, the medical field too, and mental health too. I can say I have great backings. I used to be in the Junior Police Explorer team back in Chicago, Illinois. I wasn't always with the gangsters. I wasn't always doing rebellious stuff. Sometimes I got a good side to everybody. Got a side to them. And it's not called multiple personality. No, it's not that. Sometimes you change within a time of what you go through. Life can change you sometimes. It happens. Just like Tyler Perry, that movie, Daddy's Little Girl. Life has a way of changing people. Okay, whatever they go through, life has a way of changing you or influencing you to become the person that you are today. Okay? But no, you have to have the right medication. Psychotropic is the last type of thing you want to do to somebody that had traumas. And that is traumatized. It don't have, paranoia is not even a word to say no more. That's so old now. Nobody's using that. People are using the word trauma. Traumatized is what you might want to say that person is. If they cannot get off a certain subject and they OCD and obsessing over it, and they can't leave a certain conversation within time, they get overly talkative and they get obsessed over it, and it's hard to pull them off of that conversation unless you positively redirect them. Medication and restraints is the last thing they do in the behavioral health field. Don't get see, a lot of, even though those cops ain't even psychiatrists. A lot of them crooked cops are not psychiatrists. So you can't depend on them. What they do is drug abuse. They be abusing drugs. They be abusing the medications, the psychotropic drugs. Okay? But Psychotropic and restraints is the last thing we do in behavior health or mental health. First, we positively redirect the person. They talking about the same thing over again. Okay, positively redirect them. Be like, we going to the store or something. You want to come with us? Involve them in more activities or something. It's some way to get them off the subject of being negative. Or do something that makes them feel good that you know that they like to do. Don't put them back on the same negative track again by sending somebody to make them mad or upset or remind them of what they used to go through. That's why I said some of my friends I left behind. Because they will remind me of what some of those men used to do. They will remind me of the negative things. Don't remind nobody. If you want them to change, don't remind them of anything negative. In Tucson, Arizona, I left them because sometimes they added to the behavior. I don't think those people in Tucson, Arizona, the Mexicans, the Latins, and white people that work in those fields don't even know how to positively redirect somebody. And culture has a lot to do with it too. It has a lot to do with the spirit, the personality, the heart of a person. Has a lot to do with why they can't resolve a certain situation. You got to have a special type of mentality, a special type of personality, a special type of spirit, a special type of heart to work in the behavioral health field or any type of mental health field. You got to have that specialty. Because if you don't have it, then you're going to be having all types of behaviors with that client. Because first of all, keep it on this. You're not that client, first of all. Your job is not to judge that client. Because their lifestyles are probably not like your lifestyles. Just like how me and my best friend, my ex-best friend, she was dark skinned, dark brown skin. And I think it had a lot to do with culture. But she never went through what I went through. So we would clash. She'd be like, well, this is what I think. It ain't about you. It's about me. When I'm talking about me, it's about me. It's not about you. Don't try to put your feet into my shoes unless you become me. And I will always get crazy with her. And the way that I got crazy with her, I started to threaten her. I started to tell her, well, you know what? And I had to catch myself. Lord, be with me. I caught myself. But I used to get really mad at her. I could not be her friend no longer. I could not be that lady's friend no longer. First of all, I used to get bullied by dark brown skinned people in Chicago on the west side. I could not no longer be her friend. Because it was hard for me to talk to her. She was too judgmental. She was a Taurus. I was an Aquarius. That's another thing. So, our zodiacs clash. Our personality clash. I'm not a judgmental type. But it was time to let that friendship go. Because first of all, she ain't me. And she would never be me. Even if she went for psychiatrist or as a psychiatrist. And she's a psychiatrist, she can never be me. Yeah, you may took up the same curriculums as me, but you can never be me. And I the one took it first. So I took up those classes first because I had a lot of things that I want to resolve within my family. That's why I took up psychology and medical. And now the fields that I went into, behavioral health in Tucson, I went into behavioral health. And I had to get some counseling myself because some things I couldn't even handle. And some things I couldn't even tell my family about. Or my friends. So I voluntarily went there. And I believe that everybody that works in the behavioral health should go for some counseling because sometimes it may be too much on your plate. It may be too much. And maybe the person that you're talking to can suggest some things to you to help your client. You never know. Or to help you. Or go work at a group home. And you may help yourself just like you helping your client. That has happened to me before. Like, wow, my client was telling me something. And I was working at a group home. I was like, oh wow, that is true. Oh wow. You know what I'm saying? So when I was helping my client, I was helping myself. And I was like, oh my God. And then that's what made us human. That's what made us so human, to say, well, I'm no different than you. And my client just started laughing because I said, well, it's the truth, you know? And these were adults I was working with. I didn't work with kids. I worked with adults in group homes that was disabled and that had disorders. We all could be the same in some way. Yes. And we all rub off on each other because we all can have the same type of resolutions that we all are looking for. And we just happens to have it, So, it was a blessing working in, in a group home with other adults. It was a blessing to have the lifestyle that I had. I would never regret my life for nothing in the world, because I had excellent backings to get whatever job that I wanted to get out there. So, glory to God. I mean, praise Him for that. You have a beautiful understanding. You have empathy. Empathy is like the number one thing that you want to have is empathy and remorse for the people that you can and cannot change. But you can't change everybody. But the only thing you can do is understand them the best to your ability. And that's what being a psychiatrist or a therapist is really about. It's about getting a person to help themselves. Also, it's not about taking their credit. It's not like becoming them. It's not like they taking your ideas, but it's just, hey, I understand. I understand. And the things that I don't understand, help me to understand. Help me to get to know you again. Or help me to get to know you. The you that you are today and the past you that you used to be. And maybe we can connect the two and say, well, okay, you have changed. You have made progress. But you're going to always be the past person. You're going to always be the up-to-date person. Because you are you. Again, my name is Terena HINES. Thank you for listening.